"We can't come right now. Mum will be fine. Jennifer is throwing a birthday party and we have over 50 guests arriving. Is she stable? We'll come first thing in the morning." Those were the exact words my son David said to the doctor when he was told I might be having my last night. My 43-year-old son chose his wife's party over being here when I needed him most. I'm lying here hooked up to machines monitoring my heart, staring at the ceiling of this cold hospital room. It's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm completely alone. The heart monitor beeps in an uneven rhythm. And my sons are 30 minutes away, toasting with champagne. "Mrs. Patterson, please try to rest," whispers Rachel, the night shift nurse. She's young, probably the same age as my daughters-in-law, but her eyes show a kindness I haven't seen in my own family for years. Dr. Wilson was very clear when he told me about the calls 2 hours ago. "I told them specifically that you've had a serious cardiac event, that the next 24 to 48 hours are critical to see if it stabilizes or progresses to a major heart attack. I told them we needed them here." My younger son Marcus's response was even worse. "Doctor, I understand, but Amy organized everything weeks ago." "Is Mom stable right now? She's always been so strong. We'll be there first thing tomorrow morning after the guests leave." She's always been strong. That phrase keeps playing in my head. I've been strong when their father left us 25 years ago with 2 teenagers and piles of debt. I was strong when I worked 3 jobs to help put them through college, cleaning offices before dawn, waiting tables during the day, doing alterations until midnight. They had scholarships and loans too, but I covered what they couldn't. I was strong when I sold my house to help David with a $95,000 down payment, every penny of equity I had built over 30 years. "It's only temporary, Mom. I'll pay you back in 2 years. That was 8 years ago. I was strong when I lent Marcus my emergency fund, $28,000 saved over decades, for his business that folded after 3 months. But this is different. This time, when it truly mattered, when the doctors said I might not make it through the night, they chose to stay at a party. Dr. Wilson had explained, "Mrs. Patterson, you have unstable angina. We've stabilized you for now, but you're at extremely high risk. The next 48 hours will tell us if this progresses to a full heart attack. Your stress levels are a major factor in your recovery. And my children were worried about not disappointing their party guests. Right now, looking at the city lights through the hospital window, something inside me is breaking. Not my heart. Something much deeper. The last bit of hope that maybe I still mattered to someone." The pain had started 3 days ago during Sunday lunch at David's house. It was my 67th birthday, though no one remembered. Jennifer had prepared a light salad and grilled chicken, nothing like the celebrations I used to organize for them. That afternoon, Amy arrived with news that broke my heart. "Guess what? We finally got a date for my birthday party. It's going to be this Wednesday at the Grand Plaza Hotel Ballroom." Wednesday? My actual birthday had been on Sunday, but no one mentioned it. On Wednesday, they were celebrating Amy with all the bells and whistles. "It's going to be amazing," Amy continued. "Best catering in the city. Live music, over 50 guests confirmed. Marcus gave me this gorgeous gold dress that cost $1,200, $1,200 for a dress. More than I spend on clothes in 2 years. "Mum, you're obviously invited," Marcus said, but his tone was forced politeness. "Though you know it's going to be a fancy affair." The message was clear. Come, but don't embarrass us. On Tuesday night, the pressure in my chest became unbearable. My left arm ached and I had nausea that made me double over. I called David at 11. "Mum, what's wrong? We're watching a movie. Honey, I feel very sick. I have chest pain that won't go away. Did you take anything? Maybe it's stress with Amy's party tomorrow. We'll stop by after the celebration to check on you." I hung up, feeling more alone than ever. Even my pain had to wait for my daughter-in-law's party. That night, I couldn't sleep. The pain spread through my jaw, my neck, my back. At 5 in the morning, I called Sharon, my neighbour. "My dear, that doesn't sound good," she said after hearing my symptoms. I'm coming over and taking you to the hospital. Sharon found me sitting on the edge of the bed, sweating and breathing with difficulty. We're going to the hospital right now. In the emergency room, everything happened fast. The EKG showed serious irregularities. I had unstable angina, a cardiac emergency. We need to admit you immediately, Dr. Wilson said. This is very serious. Is there anyone we can call? With a voice choked by pain, I gave them my children's numbers. Please tell them it's urgent. Sharon held my hand as they stabilized me. You're not alone, but I was alone. As they gave me medication and hooked me up to monitors, the last thing I thought about was my children getting ready for a party while I fought for my life. I woke up hours later with Rachel checking my vitals and Sharon asleep beside my bed. My children were noticeably absent. Did my children call? Rachel hesitated. The doctor spoke with them. He explained you'd had a serious cardiac event, that the next 24 to 48 hours are critical, that they needed to come immediately. And what did they say? Your oldest son said they had over 50 guests arriving for a party, asked if you were stable, and said they'd come first thing in the morning. Your younger son said his wife had organised everything weeks ago and asked if it could wait until tomorrow. Tears started rolling down my cheeks. It wasn't just the physical pain. It was discovering that Amy's party, with its $1,200 gold dress, was worth more than being here when I might be dying. Sharon woke up hearing me cry. My dear, what happened? They're not coming, Sharon. They're at a party. Right then, I made a decision that would change everything forever. The next morning, the room phone finally rang. It was David. Mum, how are you? We just finished with the last guests. We're so glad you're stable. We were worried sick last night, but we had all these people depending on us. We'll come by this afternoon. Worried sick, while they were toasting with champagne. David, the doctors told you I might not make it through the night, that the next 48 hours were critical. Brief silence. Well, you're okay now, right? The doctor said you were stable. Besides, Mum, you've always been so strong. We knew you'd pull through. My life was less important than disappointing party guests. We'll stop by around 3 p.m. Jennifer's exhausted from hosting. I hung up without saying goodbye. That afternoon, David and Marcus arrived with their wives. Amy looked radiant, still glowing from her successful celebration. Gold earrings, perfect makeup. I had greasy hair, a stained hospital gown, and wires coming out of my chest. Mother-in-law, how are you? We're so glad you're okay. It was such a stressful night, wondering how you were doing while we had to take care of all those guests. Take care of guests while I was alone in a hospital bed. The party was incredible, Mom, Marcus said. You should have seen the decorations. Over 60 people came, including important clients from my work. The doctor said I have unstable angina, I told them, that I'm at high risk for a major heart attack. That stress is a major factor. Marcus shifted uncomfortably. Well, but you're getting the best care. The important thing is you're stable now. Amy spoke up. Margaret, I hope you understand why we couldn't come last night. We had people travelling from out of state. What were we supposed to do? We couldn't just abandon everyone. Abandon everyone. That's exactly what they'd done to me. Look, Mom, Marcus said, we've been talking. Once you're out of here, we think it would be good for you to consider a senior living facility, somewhere with 24-hour medical care. That way, if something like this happens again, professionals can handle it without us having to rush over. A nursing home, so next time I'm dying, they won't be bothered at all. There are some nice ones, Jennifer added. About $2,000 a month. With your pension and a small contribution from us, it would work. $2,000 a month, the same amount Amy's dress cost. I stayed quiet, watching my sons plan to warehouse me like I was a problem to be solved. We'll research some options, David said, but first you need to recover. Maybe a few weeks in a rehab facility would be good too. They left after 30 minutes, promising to visit again soon. That night, lying alone in my hospital bed, I began to plan something I never thought I'd have to do, something final. Dr. Wilson came in the next morning. "Mrs. Patterson, your condition has stabilised, but you're not out of the woods. I'm recommending you spend 2 to 3 weeks at Riverside Rehabilitation Centre. They'll monitor your heart, help you build strength, and manage your stress levels. This is crucial for your recovery." "Will I be able to make phone calls? Have visitors?" "Of course, you'll have your own room and phone, but I strongly encourage you to focus on reducing stress." Reduce stress, that meant reducing contact with my children. Over the next 3 days in the hospital, I formulated my plan. Sharon visited every day, and I told her everything. "Sharon, I need your help with something important. I'm going to leave, not just the hospital, I'm going to leave this entire life behind." She took my hand. "What are you thinking, dear?" "I have money they don't know about. $32,000. It's from a small inheritance from my aunt 5 years ago that I never told them about. I've been adding to it, little by little, from my pension. I was saving it for emergencies." "That's a good amount, Margaret." "I have a cousin in Dallas. Eleanor, she's alone in a big house. I'm going to move there after rehab, but I need you to help me with something. I need a lawyer." Sharon nodded. "I know someone, a good one. Let me make a call." 2 days later, a lawyer named Patricia Chen visited me in the hospital. "Mrs. Patterson, Sharon explained your situation. I want to help you do this properly and legally. Here's what I recommend." She laid out a plan that was clean, legal, and unbreakable. "First, you'll go to Riverside Rehab as the doctor ordered. During those 3 weeks, you'll revoke your son's access to your medical information under HIPAA. You'll create a new will. You'll make arrangements with your cousin in Dallas. When you're discharged from rehab, you'll move to Dallas, openly, not secretly. You're a competent adult. You have every right to choose where you live." "But they'll try to contact me." "That's the second part. You'll change your phone number. You'll block them on all platforms. You'll send them a letter explaining your decision. They'll know where you are, but they'll have no access to you. That's your right." "Can they try to declare me incompetent?" Patricia smiled. "They can try. But you have medical records showing you're making sound decisions under the care of doctors. You're moving to family, not disappearing into the streets. You're demonstrating excellent self-care. They'd lose badly." Over the next week, I did exactly as Patricia advised. I signed the HIPAA revocation. I created a new will, leaving everything to charity. I called Eleanor, who was thrilled to have me, and every night I wrote my letter. "Dear David and Marcus, for 67 years I have lived for you. Every decision I made, every sacrifice, every dream I gave up was with your well-being in mind. Today, recovering from a cardiac emergency that nearly killed me, I finally understand that you have not lived a single day thinking about mine. When your father left us, I was 36 with 2 teenagers. I had men who wanted to start a family with me, but I chose to stay alone to dedicate myself completely to you. I worked 3 jobs to help put you through college. I cleaned offices from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., worked at the diner from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and did alterations from 6 until midnight. David, when you married Jennifer, I sold my house, every penny of equity I'd built over 30 years, to help you with your down payment. I moved to a small apartment on the 4th floor with no elevator. You got your dream house. You promised to pay me back in 2 years. That was 8 years ago. Marcus, when your business was failing, I lent you my emergency fund, $28,000 saved over decades. It was my security for old age, my peace of mind. You promised to pay me back in 6 months. The business folded after 3. I never saw that money again. But none of this matters now. What broke me was discovering that on Wednesday, when the doctors told you I might not survive the night, when they begged you to come immediately, you chose to stay at a party. You chose to protect Amy's celebration over being there when your mother might be dying. You asked if I was stable, as if that made it acceptable to wait. You said you'd come first thing in the morning. You told the doctor your wife had organised everything weeks ago and had guests depending on you. I was depending on you too. And you chose them. Today I understand something I should have understood years ago. You don't love me. Maybe you cared for me when you were children and needed me, but that feeling disappeared when you became independent. Now I'm just an uncomfortable obligation, someone to visit occasionally to keep up appearances, someone to warehouse in a facility so I won't inconvenience you. That is why I have made a decision that will change our lives forever. I will not continue to live as a mother begging for crumbs of attention. I will not accept that my life has less value than a party, than disappointing guests, than a busy schedule. I am moving to Dallas to live with my cousin Eleanor. This is not a secret. I am a competent adult choosing where to live. But I am also choosing who has access to me, and you no longer do. I have revoked your access to my medical information. I have changed my phone number. I have blocked you on all platforms. You will not be able to reach me. This is not anger. This is self-preservation. This is self-love. I deserve to be surrounded by people who value my presence, who choose my company instead of tolerating it, who would never calculate whether my life is worth interrupting their plans. Don't expect me to come back. Don't expect a reconciliation. This is my final goodbye. Be happy with your busy lives, your important parties, and your clear priorities. I will be happy without you. Margaret Calloway. Your mother until today. I was transferred to Riverside Rehab on a Thursday. It was a clean, quiet facility with gardens and a kind staff. My sons visited once in the first week, a brief, awkward visit where they talked about researching nursing homes for my own good. I smiled and nodded. They had no idea what was coming. In my second week, Sharon visited with good news. I found a buyer for your apartment furniture. Everything's arranged. The storage unit for things you want to keep is paid for 6 months. Your mail will forward to Eleanor's address. Thank you, Sharon. You're the only real family I have. On my third week, Dr. Wilson cleared me for discharge. Mrs. Patterson, you've made remarkable progress. Your stress levels have dropped significantly. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. I will, Doctor. I promise. The day before my discharge, my sons visited to discuss next steps. Mum, we found a great facility, David said. It's called Harmony Gardens. Very nice. They have activities, good food, 24-hour nurses. We can move you in next month, Marcus added. It'll be perfect. You'll be safe and we won't have to worry. Won't have to worry. Won't have to be bothered. Boys, I said calmly, I've made other arrangements. I'm moving to Dallas to live with my cousin Eleanor. I leave tomorrow. They stared at me. What? Jennifer said. You can't just move to Texas. I can and I am. I'm a competent adult. I've discussed this with my doctors. They approve. But Mom, David said, we're your family. We need to be involved in these decisions. No, you don't. I'm not incompetent. I'm not a child. I'm a 67-year-old woman choosing where to live. Amy frowned. This seems very sudden. Are you sure you're thinking clearly? I'm thinking more clearly than I have in years. Marcus tried a different approach. Okay, fine. If you want to visit Eleanor for a while, that's fine. But we should stay in touch, help you settle in. I'll be in touch when and if I want to be. On my terms. I watched their faces as it started to sink in that they were losing control of me. The next morning, Eleanor picked me up. Sharon was there too, helping me with my bags. Remember, Sharon whispered, I'll visit next month, and I'll send you updates. Thank you for everything, Sharon. For being a real friend. As we drove away from Riverside Rehab, I pulled out my phone and sent the same text to both sons. I am moving to Dallas to live with my cousin Eleanor. You will find a letter at Sharon's house explaining everything. Do not try to contact me. I have blocked your numbers and revoked your access to my medical information. This is my choice. Respect it. Minus Margaret. Then I blocked their numbers and turned off my phone. I arrived in Dallas on a sunny Saturday morning. Eleanor's house was exactly as she'd described, large, full of light, with a backyard where roses bloomed. "Welcome home, Margaret," Eleanor said, hugging me tight. "This is your house now too, for as long as you want." That evening, Sharon called to tell me she'd given them the letter. How did they react? Exactly as you'd expect: shock, denial, anger. "David tried to tell me I was helping you make a mistake. Marcus threatened to call the police. Jennifer cried and said you were tearing the family apart." "And what did you say?" I told them the truth, that you're a competent adult who has chosen where to live, that you've broken no laws, and that they should respect your decision. "The police won't do anything, Margaret. You're not missing. You're not incompetent. You're a grown woman who moved." Did they ask for Eleanor's address? They did. I refused to give it. But Margaret, they'll find it if they really want to. Public records, social media, a private investigator. This isn't about hiding. It's about boundaries. I know. Let them find the address. I won't answer the door. I won't respond to letters. The boundary is the point. Over the next few weeks, I received dozens of messages on a new voicemail I'd set up. I didn't listen to them, but Sharon gave me summaries. The first week was denial and bargaining. "Mum, please call us." "We can talk about this. We're sorry if we hurt you." The second week was anger. "This is ridiculous. You're being manipulative and cruel." Now they're at resignation. "We respect your decision. We just want to know you're okay." Are they still trying to contact Eleanor? They called her once. She told them, "You're fine, you're healthy, and you've asked not to be contacted." She said she'd respect your wishes. They didn't call again. 3 months after my arrival in Dallas, I'd built a completely new life. I woke early to walk in the park with a group of women my age. I'd found a part-time job at a boutique. In the afternoons, I took painting classes at the community centre. "You look like a completely different person," Eleanor told me one evening, "like you've shed 20 years. She was right. I felt reborn. I met people. I made real friends. I met Mr. Harrison in dance class, a widower with kind eyes who treated me with genuine respect and interest. And I did something Patricia the lawyer had suggested. I created a new social media account under my maiden name. I posted pictures of my new life, my morning walks, my painting classes, my coffee dates with Eleanor, my new friends. I made it public. Sharon told me later that my sons had found it, that they could see every post, every picture of me smiling, every moment of my new happy life, but they couldn't comment, couldn't message, could only watch from the outside as I lived fully without them. "That's the worst punishment," Sharon said, "not wondering where you are, but seeing exactly how happy you are without them." She was right. The cruelty wasn't in disappearing. It was in being visible but unreachable, in them seeing proof every single day that I didn't need them, that I was better without them. 6 months after my move, I received a letter forwarded by Sharon. It was from David. "Dear Mum, I've been watching your posts. You look happy, healthier than I've seen you in years. I'm writing this because I need you to know that I understand now. I understand what we did. I understand that when you needed us most, we chose a party. We chose our comfort over your life. I've been in therapy. Jennifer and I both have. We're trying to understand how we became people who could do that. How we could treat you like an obligation instead of our mother. How we could calculate whether your life was worth interrupting our plans. I know you won't respond to this. I know you won't forgive us. I'm not asking you to. I just need you to know that I see it now. I see all of it. The sacrifices you made, the love you gave, and how thoroughly we took it for granted. I see you're happy now. You deserve that happiness. I'm glad you found it, even though it meant losing us. I'm sorry, Mum. I'm so sorry, David." I read the letter once, then I folded it carefully and put it in a drawer. Maybe someday I'd forgive them, maybe someday I'd respond, but not today, not this year, maybe not ever. Because the truth was, I'd finally found something I'd been missing my entire adult life: peace, joy, self-respect. A life where I mattered not because people needed me, but because I was valued. That night I wrote in my journal, "Dear Journal, today I turned 68. Eleanor organised a small party with our friends from the park. We had cake, music and laughter. Real laughter. The kind that comes from genuine joy, not obligation. I received a letter from David today, an apology. Maybe it's genuine, maybe it's not. But I realised something reading it. Whether or not they understand what they did doesn't matter anymore. I forgave myself. That's what matters. I forgave myself for sacrificing everything, for thinking love meant martyrdom, for believing that if I just gave enough, they'd eventually see my worth. I see my worth now, and it has nothing to do with them. This is the life I deserve. This is the life I finally have." I closed the journal and looked out the window at the moonlit garden. Tomorrow would be another day of my new life, another day of freedom, another day of simply being Margaret. Not the abandoned mother, not the sacrificed woman, but a complete woman living on her own terms. And for the first time in 40 years, that was more than enough. What would you do in this person's shoes? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.